What's up, guys? How are you? Welcome into a Saturday morning episode of the Daily Juice podcast with me, Matt Perrault, at Sports Talk Matt, to follow me across all socials. This podcast being brought to you by omahasteaks.com. The URL is omahasteaks.com/juice to go and get 4 free chicken breasts and 4 free pork chops with any order you make through that URL, omahasteaks.com/juice. All right, awful night last night. Look, NBA, not my thing, clearly, right now. I avoided it. There was nothing I liked last night. So this is one of those things where, like, down 4.5 units. I think I crushed the whole week. It's frustrating, okay? Celtics first half team total missed on the hook, and I knew I was in trouble after that. Boston, I had way too much wrapped up in that Celtics game. I got everything wrong. Tatum points wrong. Michael Porter Jr. over 2.5 threes, wrong. First half, wrong. Game, wrong. Bad. And then the Hawks game got both those things wrong as well. Trae Young being out really kind of screwed me. This is why I hate the NBA, because I didn't think Trae Young was going to be out. Trae Young was out. I thought that was good for the -6. I thought it might have been bad or at least bad for the total, but both ended up, they lost the game outright. Both teams lost. I said last night in the podcast, watch Boston lose their first game outright with me betting on them after they had won 20 consecutive games at home. Whoops. Yep, just what happened. Boston scored 39 points in the second half. They scored 61 in the first half and 39 in the second half. Bad shooting, bad offense, bad execution, good defense by Denver. Nice win by the Nuggets. But so, I don't know, whatever, 0-6, whatever that was last night, but down over 4 units. So the week is still profitable, barely. The month is still profitable easily. We're, 6+ units up on the week, or on the month rather. So we head towards Saturday. Get comfortable. I have got a ton of bets going today. This is one of the most target-rich environment days you're ever going to see. 2 playoff games, like 100 college basketball games, a hockey slate that's good, and UFC 297. Now, I'm not betting anything official in the UFC, okay? I will do UFC bets. I'll eventually come back to it to make it official, but I've been bad. Last year was, if you took out the 10 units I lost betting on the UFC, I had a monster year last year. I mean, it was much, much better. It was, what we ended up. I'm always forgetting what we ended up to be up. It was like 19 units, something like that. So it would have been like closer to 30 units up last year, if it wasn't for UFC. So I'm going to just do personal plays with the UFC. If you guys are curious what I'm betting, feel free to ask me in the Discord channel, bettingpros.com/chat. But before we give you the picks, I got to tell you about something special happening for us with Betting Pros. You can join Chris Welch and Scott Bogman. I think it's Bogman. We'll be live on the Betting Pros YouTube channel Sunday afternoon at 2:45 Eastern for the divisional round matchup between the Tampa Bay Bucks and the Detroit Lions. We'll be showcasing live bets for every drive with Locker, an interactive experience that puts you right in the heart of NFL action. As you watch games, make predictions on upcoming offensive drives, and you can make money quickly. It's simple, fun, and rewards your sports savvy with real cash. They have an offer going on right now where you can compete against our top analysts this weekend for a chance to grab a share of $5,000 in prizes. Don't just watch the game, be a part of it with Locker. Download it now with the link at, I'll give you the link here in a second, for be there for every thrilling play and turn your predictions into profits with Locker, where fans get off the bench and into the game. You guys can go and compete head-to-head against Betting Pros top analysts for drive outcomes this weekend. $5,000 up in prizes. You're going to go to, well, let me see what that link is, because they're just giving me a smart link. So let me see. I'll post this link in the Discord channel. Somebody who wrote the copy just didn't do this correctly because it's not. Let me see if I've got a better description of the link. So sorry, I was reading this earlier today, and it says smart link, which doesn't make sense. So yes, okay. So just go and download Locker, and we will walk you through it on the live stream at 2:45 Eastern, 11:45 Eastern time for the first half of Tampa Bay and Detroit. 2:45 live with Betting Pros experts Chris Welch and Scott Bogman, coming up on Sunday during the Lions and the Buccaneers game. Download Locker now and step into the world of live fantasy sports where your predictions could turn into real rewards. Okay, so let's talk about all these games because there are so many. Let's start. I'm going to tell you right here, okay, my personal plays on this are going to be a little bit different than what I'm giving out officially. because at this point in the regular season or in the playoffs, the numbers are super sharp. All right. I'm laying the 9.5 with the Ravens. I'm taking the 9.5 with the Packers. But my first play is going to be, I'm just going to do the squarest of square plays and do a 6.5 point teaser and pull both of them down from 9.5 down to 3 and do Ravens -3, Niners -3 for 1.3 units, -130. DraftKings, most books will charge you 130 to do this, okay? 6.5 point teaser, -130. Both Ravens and the Niners down to 3, which is essentially to win the game. I know they can win the game by 1 or 2, but I don't see either the Packers or the Texans winning the game, all right? Now, if you want to take the Texans as a hedge off of the 1 unit play we have on the Ravens to win the AFC, you can do that. But I'm really confident, and I've been confident, the same way I was confident with Michigan to win the national championship. I don't think we have to hedge. I don't think the Texans are the team to beat the Ravens, even with the Ravens' nasty history. I think they rid themselves of all of this coming up with the Texans on the road, who have been a completely different team on the road than what they have been at home. I'm laying the 9.5 personally. I'm taking the 9.5 because I do think the Niners win the game by 7. I think 9.5 points is too much. But just in case, I'm pulling it both down to 3, 6.5 point teaser, 1.3 units, 1.3 units down on the first play, which is Ravens -3, Niners -3. Now, what else do I have in these games? Team total for the Ravens, 26.5 at FanDuel at -122. In the first matchup, first game of the year, the Ravens scored 25 points. They won 25-9. The Ravens have averaged over 30 points per game, 31 points per game at home this year. The Texans give up about 21 points per game on the road, but this is a road team against a rested Ravens team, which may have Mark Andrews available. He's a game-time decision, but I don't think the Texans are going to be able to stop Lamar Jackson and company. I'd be really surprised if they don't score 30 points here. And the Texans' best case, the best chance to cover or win the game is to get into a shootout here, because I don't think a low-scoring game is going to benefit them. And I'm not sold. People are betting the over. I'm just not sold that we're going to see a lot of points scored by the Texans. And that's why I think you could get, a 28-point number from the Ravens, and you could get, 10 points, and it's 28-10. And so I'm going to lay the 9.5 points here with the Ravens personally, but officially, also with the tease, team total, Ravens, over 26.5 points. I think they scored 27 points. I really do here in this game. And I think Todd Monken in this offense, I think they're going to have something for the Texans. They're going to be difficult to face because they're at home and they're rested. I know Russ could be a factor and maybe they get going, but I think the defense could help out here. I do expect CJ Stroud to struggle, okay? He's a rookie on the road in the divisional round. This doesn't happen, okay? They beat the number 1 ranked defense in the NFL. Here's the problem. The Browns stunk on the road. Their defense was garbage. They were great at home. It was total paper tiger stuff on the road. Browns were not great. The Texans weren't great on the road this year. They were okay. They lost to the Jets. It's, you look at the numbers and you're just like, do you really want to go ahead and go to war here and trust this Houston team on the road and be like, yeah, okay, I believe they can do this. They lost 30-6 to the Jets on the road. They lost 15-13 to the Carolina Panthers on the road. This is Baltimore now we're talking about. Again, 25-9. I would need just, one more field goal, 28 points out of Baltimore after the first week. It's funny, but the first week starts the year at Baltimore. Last game of the year at Baltimore, kind of bookend this year for the Houston Texans. They end where they start. Team total, 1.22 units down. Ravens, team total over 26.5 points for 1.1 units. And then I'm going to the second game between the Niners and Green Bay. I'm taking the 9.5 points. All right. I think it's a 7-point win. I'm playing it like a 7-point win here, but I'm playing the over 50.5. Here's why. Green Bay 8-2 on the road to the over this year. Now, San Fran was 5-3 to the over, but we saw a lot of crazy games, wild scoring games for the Packers on the road this year. Last week, 48-32, right? Minnesota 33-10. Carolina 33-30. The Giants 24-20. Detroit 29-22. Pittsburgh 23-19. Yes, that game went over. The total was 38.5. As they got going on the road, the only two games on the road that did not go over were against the Raiders and against the Broncos, and both those games were consecutively bookended around their bye week in October. After that, they put on the road. It was over. I mean, from Pittsburgh on, from the 12th of November, Pittsburgh over, Detroit over, the Giants over, Carolina over, Minnesota over, Dallas over. Over 50.5. I think San Fran scores. I think Green Bay scores as well. I think this could be a really fun, entertaining game, and I think it could be something along the lines, like a 31-24 type final, somewhere in that range here, where they don't cover the 9.5, but the total comes in, the over comes in here. So I'll be very surprised if San Francisco loses this game. I think Green Bay is going to put a scare in them, but I think ultimately Brock Purdy plays well enough. I'm scared about Brock Purdy. I'm not going to lie. Brock Purdy does scare me, okay? And if anyone's going to lose, if either team's going to lose outright, I think it is San Francisco who could lose the game outright. But I think the running defense for the Panthers for the Packers is just not good enough here to stop this rushing attack. I mean, the numbers are kind of scary when you look at what San Fran does on the ground here, running the football. 4.8 yards per rush for San Francisco. Green Bay gives up 4.4 yards. It's the bottom of the league. 28th in opposing rushing yards per game. 128 given up per game for the Green Bay Packers. That is not good. And we're talking about a team that runs for 140 plus yards per game on the ground. That's third best in the NFL. So a great rushing attack against a crap rush defense. Christian McCaffrey, go crazy on the prop bets. We will talk about prop bets coming up here on the BettingPros live stream, coming at you at noon Eastern time with myself and Andrew. I think it is Erickson. I think it's me and Andrew. It was Pat Fitzmaurice last week, so I believe it's me and Andrew Erickson today at noon on the BettingPros YouTube channel. We'll break down prop bets and picks and plays. I'll give you a couple of things that I like. I'm not sure I'm going to add anything official to the props just because I have my cards enormous today. So I'm not sure I'm going to do anything officially in the prop betting market. I'm not a huge prop better, but McCaffrey everything. Anytime touchdown, McCaffrey, everyone's going to bet it, but I think they're good plays just because I think the Green Bay Packers are going to get run all over. But I think big plays in the run game, set up the pass. And on the flip side, I think you're going to see if Jordan Love can have time, I think Jordan Love can find receivers down the field, and I think Jordan Love can put some points up on the board. So I'm going with the over 50.5 for 1.1 units. Okay, so officially today in the NFL, Ravens team total over 26.5. Teaser, 6.5 point teaser. Both Ravens, Niners -3 in their games, and then over 50.5 Packers and the Niners for 1.1 units. All right. Again, if you want personal, Ravens 9.5, Packers plus 9.5. I'm done both those bets as well, but we'll see. Those are personal plays. I'm going to play it safe officially and then get into the personal plays there. Let's talk college basketball. We're going back to my trend. Okay, what's the trend? Trend is teams on the road in conference play. They lose. They come back home. Next game at home. They are home dogs in conference play. There are 3 games that fit this that I like, and 1 game that I'm going to add because I like it a lot. Now, I'm not playing Nova +4 against UConn, okay? I'm scared to fade UConn. I just did it with the Creighton Blue Jays, and they killed the Creighton Blue Jays. This game is at Wells Fargo Center, big building, big crowd, big excitement for Villanova. They're +4. I'm going to bet this because that's the trend, okay? Nova +4, but that's a personal play because I'm concerned about fading the number 1 team in the country. Like, just how good is UConn? I'm like, I don't know. Like, this would be a game that Nova would win outright, but I'm concerned about Nova's scoring ability. I'm concerned about Donovan Clingan coming back. Like, I'm not in love with that play. So I'll do it officially. I'll do it personally, not officially. What I will play officially, though, is we'll go to talk about Missouri and Florida. Missouri, last time out on the road, Missouri lost to Alabama. They are 0-4 in the SEC. They are desperate, and I mean desperate, to get a W here. KenPom has this as a 3-point win for Florida. Plus 3.5 is the number. So we have a half a point there with KenPom. Missouri's coming back. I mean, my gosh, ESPNU, 8 o'clock Eastern. This is a prideful program. Florida's 43rd on KenPom. Missouri's 103rd. But Missouri's offense isn't awful. 78th in efficiency, 108th in effective field goal percentage. Florida's defense is okay, 82nd and 81st in those categories. 2-point percentage, 69th in 2-point percentage, 63rd in 2-point defense. The flip side, Florida's offense can't shoot from the outside, okay? 216th from 3. They're 112th from 2. They're 24th in efficiency, but they're 138th in effective field goal percentage. This is a team that gets over half their points from inside the arc, only 26% from outside the arc. That is 282nd. That can be a recipe for success if Missouri plays defense tonight, okay? If they can D up and play well and play desperate at home because they are in such need of getting a W here at home. I'm taking the 3.5 points. Missouri plus 3.5 here at home. Florida on the road is 2-6-1 ATS, by the way. Missouri at home is 2-8. I'll give it to you. And they're 0-4 in conference. Florida's 1-3 ATS in conference. Favorite on the road, give me the home dog. Missouri plus 3.5 here up against Florida. Second bet, Valpo hosting Illinois Chicago. Into the Valley we go. Valparaiso in their last game on the road lost to Evansville 78-75. This is a 1-6 team in the Valley for Valpo, 5-13 overall. That is not good. However, Valpo at home is 4-5 ATS. Now, Illinois Chicago is 6-3 ATS, but they're 0-5 ATS over their last 5, and they haven't covered for 7 straight games. On the flip side, we've seen Valpo cover for 4 straight games, and they're 5-2 ATS in the Missouri Valley. But here they're 3.5-point dogs at home. They lost to Elon as 5-point dogs, lost by 4. They got killed by Bradley at home, 10.5-point dogs, lost by 25. When on the road against Illinois Chicago, last time these two teams played, it was at Illinois Chicago, 12.5-point line. They lost by 6. Southern Illinois covered. Illinois State covered. Evansville covered. 2 of those 3 games were on the road. On the flip side, we haven't seen a cover for Illinois Chicago since the 16th of December against Western Michigan. They laid 11.5 and they won by 21. They have not covered yet in the Missouri Valley since they started playing Valley basketball. Give me the 3.5 points. Valparaiso plus 3.5 for 1.1 units. Now, both those games fit my trend, okay, that we've been betting, we've been cashing. You can sprinkle money line on both if you want. Valpo money line, Missouri money line, not a bad idea, okay, on both if you would like. But it's UConn versus Nova, Nova plus 4, Missouri plus 3.5, and Valpo plus 3.5. Those all factor in. Remember, it has to be a 4.5-point number or lower. There are other games out there that do factor in, but they have much higher numbers that I'm not going to go ahead and play with because I think it's a difficult thing. So I made the amendment to my own personal trend that I have discovered. So those 3 games factor in. There's one more college game I'm making official. San Francisco is at home against St. Mary's here tonight. This is going to be a wild basketball game. Numbers 1, okay? St. Mary's is 4-0 on the road. San Francisco is 10-0 at home. We've seen San Francisco blow people out. It's been actually pretty impressive to watch them at home here. I don't really understand the number, to be quite honest. I'm kind of surprised that San Francisco is a home dog here. They do not factor in. San Fran does not factor into this trend that we've been talking about because San Francisco was at home in their last game against Loyola Marymount, and they won the game. They covered 90-74. They played Portland. They won 96-69. Those are our last 2 home games. This is the 3rd consecutive home game. And here comes St. Mary's to San Francisco. KenPom has this number. I can go pull that up as to where San Fran KenPom has this game as a 2-point win for San Francisco. Okay, it's a 1-point dog +1 for San Francisco. DraftKings has this tonight. St. Mary's is very good, but these numbers are really, really similar. Defensively, UCF is good. 35th in efficiency defense, 51st in effective field goal percentage. On the other side, St. Mary's is 12th in efficiency and 15th in effective field goal percentage, but UCF is 17th in effective field goal percentage. They're 10th in 2-point percentage. This is a team that gets 32% of their points from behind the 3-point line, 54.5% inside. On the flip side, you've got just 29% of 3-point points coming in here because St. Mary's shoots 31%. That's 284th from behind the 3-point line. That's not good. 52% from inside. That's 120th for them. And St. Mary's does not hit their free throws. They are 300th in college basketball at free throw shooting. On the flip side, 29th for San Francisco. Give me the home dog. San Fran +1, 1.1 units. This is on the CBS Sports Network at 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. Eastern time. Late night game for St. Mary's and San Francisco. Taking the dog. San Fran at home +1 here on that. And finally, this is a game in hockey that I'm going to bet for a while. If this loses, I don't care. I'm going to bet it again. All right. This has been an unbelievable trend to watch with team total unders up against the Winnipeg Jets. Ottawa is the team. Ottawa, 2.5 +116, under 2.5 goals tonight for the Ottawa Senators. Why? Well, it doesn't really matter who's in net for the Jets, but it's probably going to be Connor Hellebuck. Brossoit's been pretty good as well when he's in net. He's 7-3-1 with a 2.18 goals against average. Hellebuck is 22-7-3 with a 2.19 goals against average. The Jets are 13-4-2 on the road. Ottawa just 12-11. But the more important thing, the more impressive thing, is to look and see how many times has the Winnipeg Jets defense held their opponents to 2 goals or less. Just going to rip through it for you guys here really fast, okay? This is starting back on January the 16th. 2-2-1-0, 2-1-1-2-2-2, 2-1-2-3. You have to go back to Montreal. 3 goals scored. Montreal on December the 18th against Montreal at home. Connor Hellebuck gave up 3 goals. Overtime goal, by the way. 2 goals in regulation, 3 goals in total because he gave up an overtime goal. Okay? Before that, it was 2-2-2-2-2-1-1-3. Edmonton, back on November the 30th. Since November 30th, the Winnipeg Jets have given up 3 goals in a game 2 times. 2 times. And we get plus money on this bet. They're playing Ottawa on the road, Boston on the road, Toronto on the road, and Toronto at home. Those are the next 4 games. I'm going to ride this trend, all right? Because we're at a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 consecutive cashes in this bet. Even if this misses here today, I'll come back and bet it again. It misses again, I'll bet it again. I'm going to bet this until we get a streak of at least 3 consecutive losses for this bet. Because Winnipeg buys in so much defensively, both goaltenders are really good, and the team plays tight, low-scoring hockey games all the time. Under machines, too, but team total under, Winnipeg Jets, plus money, 1 unit, plus 116 at Caesars, you can get this. 1 unit down, under 2.5 goals for the Ottawa Senators here up against the Winnipeg Jets. All right, big card. A lot of action, a lot of things going on, and I didn't even talk about UFC 297. That's for later on. If we do well today, maybe I'll tell you guys what I'm betting in the Discord channel. If I fall on my face today, maybe I won't bet it at all because I'm not good at combat sports, but I love betting combat sports. Duplessis will beat Strickland. But here we go. Official card. Ravens team total over 26.5. Teaser, -3, San Fran and the Ravens, -130. Over 50.5, San Fran and the Ravens, 1.1 units. Missouri, +3.5. Valpo, +3.5. San Francisco, +1. And under 2.5 goals for Ottawa at the Winnipeg Jets. Official plays. Other plays if you want it. Ravens minus 9.5, Green Bay plus 9.5, Nova plus 4 if you want extra stuff there for a Saturday. Big card. Live stream, noon Eastern. Myself, Andrew Erickson, joining us here live on our YouTube channel for Betting Pros. So much stuff going on. I'm forgetting what I'm doing. Noon Eastern, 9 o'clock Pacific time. We'll go through picks, plays, props, and everything else for the whole weekend. We're not doing a Sunday one, so 4 games being broken down for divisional weekend here. Lots of fun. Let's have a day. I'm Matt Perrault. Follow me across all socials at Sports Talk Matt every single morning. The Daily Juice Podcast, always being brought to you by OmahaSteaks.com.